everyone. Today we're going to make Oxymel. Oxymel is an old folk medicine remedy and it's good for many things. I have several different herbs here, and in the Oxymel will be herbs, whatever you like, honey, and apple cider vinegar. Always make sure your apple cider vinegar says with the mother. You'll see a sediment on the bottom, and that has more benefit than regular apple cider vinegar. And I live in Prescott, Arizona, and I got Prescott wildflower honey. This remedy is really good also for allergies. And so if people suffer from allergies, if you have honey from the region where you live with the allergies that you're affected by, often that's very medicinal and it will balance out your allergies. So yeah, that's Oxymel. Okay, so now how to put the Oxymel together. So you want to get a quart-size mason jar, 32 ounces, and you're going to get fresh organic herbs. I happen to get mine at Trader Joe's. Surprise, surprise. Get whatever herbs you like, as many as you like. I think at least 6 to 8. And if you know you can forage locally that they're fresh and not sprayed, you can do that. You could put pine needles in here. You could put cilantro. I have rosemary, lemongrass, dill, oregano, sage, thyme, and mint. And again, any combination you want. So you want to start just putting, I'm going to make 2 jars, so I'm going to do half of each one of these herbs. Just putting these in the jar, and we're going to stuff it with the herbs first, and then we're going to do half apple cider vinegar and half honey, but you also can do 60% apple cider vinegar and 40% honey. In using this, it's very good in tea. You can take it straight up. I mix it equally. I don't do a lot of oils like in cooking, but when I want a salad, I will do the Oxymel when it's done and some olive oil and make a salad dressing, and it is delicious. This is what the Oxymel looks like once it's strained. It's clear, but it's dark in color. And this is a current jar that I've had. I started this one March of this year, and I've been just taking out of it. I drain out of it little by little, and I let it just kind of keep extracting from the herbs. When we finish this jar, we're going to put wax paper or parchment paper because you don't want the herbs and the fluids inside touching the metal parts of the top of the mason jar. So, and you just pack this jar full of herbs because the liquid will break it all down. And yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, almost. Okay, that should be pretty good. It could be a little more full, but I'm going to do 2 jars here, so I'm going to stretch this out a little bit. And I usually do the apple cider vinegar first because that tends to go in and settle quicker than the honey. So you're just eyeballing this. It really doesn't have to be exact or extremely precise. And I'm going to call that, well, that's the jar. So we'll call that half with the apple cider vinegar. And we'll just fill it up the rest of the way with honey. When you first make this, it is very obviously very, very thick. And the first time I did it, I thought this honey is never going to mix in with this vinegar. It's just there. But after a day or two, it does. And what you want to do is you want to put this somewhere in a pantry that you're in and out of daily or every couple of days, because you want to turn it. As you can see, this all went in the same way, and it does liquefy. And I give it a turn or a shake each day. Sometimes I'll turn it, leave it sit upside down a day or two, just so everything's rotating through. Yeah, and I'll finish filling this honey up, and we'll come back before I seal it, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so now we have the honey in the jar. I filled it up most of the way. I've been depressing a spoon down in here because you get a lot of air bubbles from the herbs. So as you're adding in the honey, don't worry so much about mixing the honey and the vinegar, more to get the air out of the herbs and make sure that all the liquid is occupying the space. And I think this is pretty good. So that's about as full as you want it. Now I'm going to clean the jar off on the outside, and then we're going to finish how we close it up. Okay, so now I've cleaned the top of the lid off so it's not sticky. You want to get a piece of wax paper or parchment paper just so that metal isn't making contact. So put the parchment paper on and then put your seal and then get your ring. Actually, this one has a dent in it. It's better to get one that is fully smooth, because then it'll seal best. A little tricky to get this on, I find, if I go backwards and get in the groove of where it needs to be. And you want to close it pretty tight because you're going to be turning this over in the pantry. Like I said, some days I'll turn it over and let it just sit upside down. And now we're going to label it so that we know when we made it, how long it's been fermenting for. It's best, I like the most flavor when it sits 2 to 3 months, but you can use it at about 6 weeks. So yeah. Okay, hi. So now we have finished everything. All the herbs are in the jar, half apple cider vinegar, half honey. You can do 60-40, more apple cider vinegar and 40% honey. When you're done, you put the parchment or wax paper on the jar, then you put your lid and your seal. So I have labeled it Oxymel and the date, and then you always want to set an intention. I set the intention when I began to make it. You're intentionally putting it together. I wrote healing. That's what we're working on, everyone getting well and being well. So of course, like I said, you can use it for salad dressing, equal parts of the Oxymel and olive oil. Also, you can add it to tea. It's really good in sparkling water. You get all the benefits of the herbs. So get creative with how you use it and see how you feel. So enjoy, be well, and I would love to hear and see pictures of the Oxymel that you've made and how you've tried it, who you've shared it with, and if they like it. So let me know. Keep me up to date with how you like it. Thanks.